All right, guys, happy Monday. Today, we're going to be talking about an $800 million is about to be injected into an ecosystem. We're going to talk about exactly what ecosystem that is, how it's going to benefit, and what to look forward to moving forward. Also, last week, Bitcoin started off quite shaky, but fortunately, we had a strong weekly close. So we're going to talk about that up a little bit. We're going to talk about some developments in Bitcoin land. And guys, we have some really good information for you today. So if you're excited for the show, make sure you do me a favor and destroy that like button. And let's get into it without further ado. And if you guys are new to the channel, what up? My name's Kyle. Welcome to the channel. I've been in crypto for 12 years. My goal here is to bring you guys as much alpha as humanly possible so that you guys can take full advantage of this upcoming bull run. All right, guys. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go off over here and show you the weekly close. So as you can see, we kind of started off people were quite scared, including myself. and last week we got all the way down to 38.5. I added some, anyway. So, and then we closed with weekly close. We want to look at when we want to look at the strength of a market, we want to look at longer time frames, right? Longer horizons. So right now, today we start off stronger here, 42.44. And right now, I think the markets are about to open in the United States. And so it will be good to keep an eye to see what the grayscale dumpage may or may not look like. That is the elephant in the room here right now, guys. But I do believe it might be slowing down. But most importantly, I told you, the East is coming into it, guys. The East is coming. So if you guys aren't following me on X, make sure you go do that here at Kyle_Chasse. And the East is about to kickstart the biggest bull run we've ever seen. Harvest Hong Kong, massive move. One of China's biggest fund companies, Harvest Hong Kong, has applied for a Bitcoin spot ETF with the Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commission. The first in Hong Kong. This submission marks the first time an institution in Hong Kong has submitted for a Bitcoin ETF. So this is the first of what I expect to be likely many. And we could expect to see the same thing. And like I told you guys before, this is the first, it's kind of silly, but I was gonna say the United States was the first domino to fall. Let's call it the first real domino to kickstart the ETF global adoption here. So, what this means on a big level, guys, is that it's the same thing for everything, right? We've talked about it time and time again. ETFs allow institutions, pension funds, and these things exist in every country in the world. And they've all had the same problems, right? They couldn't just go buy spot Bitcoin ETF. And like I said before, I do believe that by the end of this year, most major countries will have spot Bitcoin ETFs. So it's important to note that. Also, in the United States, they're not done yet. They are not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. So we have Charles Schwab entering the race here, which has $8.5 trillion under management, is reportedly preparing a Bitcoin ETF. The Bitcoin supply shock is going down in history. If you guys haven't seen my video on Bitcoin supply shock, I suggest that you go do that. It is quite alarming how fast the free-floating Bitcoin is being gobbled up. And with the halving coming up, that's even going to be accelerated. And that's why I'm still very, very bullish on holding Bitcoin. And guys, the name of the game here is accumulate Bitcoin, measure your wealth in Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is going to be the world's reserve asset. So just to give you guys a picture here. So GBTC started with 28 billion AUM on Bitcoin. And now they're down. Now they're down to, let's see, I forgot what this off, but they're down to they had a $28 billion lead, and now it's a $15 billion lead because the other 9 are at 6 billion, and GBTC is down to 21 billion now. So the question is, how much longer will they sell? And a lot of people think that this has to do with fees. I'm less in the camp of fees. Well, fees, it would help if they reduce the fees, but I believe that they don't have to because, I've talked about this before, because capital gains and blah, blah, blah. So let me know in the comments below, guys, which camp are you in? So Fred Krueger says, what I'm hearing, and this is like from, Main Street, whatever. ETF launch is a failure, says JP Morgan. Nobody showed up, says Jim Cramer. Another disaster, says Peter Schiff. Going much lower, says Crypto Haze. Months left of grayscale selling. Everybody won't rally until 2024, 2025. Lots of people. Advisors not ready for this product, says Joe. But what I'm seeing, $5 billion, now it's 6, and the new 9 in 2 weeks. BlackRock is super happy with the launch. Larry Fink promoting Bitcoin. Grayscale selling slowly, massively. FTX is done selling. Less than 80 days to the halving. And price is up. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Are you guys in camp A or B? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. So we'll skip this one. But basically, this is just the idea that there's a lot of people last week who opened shorts, puts, and options on Bitcoin going lower. The question is, will there be a short squeeze and will price go higher? I think today is going to be a very telling day to see what Grayscale does, right? It really depends on how much more selling Grayscale has to go. Could be a lot, could be a little, who knows? Who knows? I'm not really worried at this point. So DeFi Man says, no big changes versus Saturday. I think this week's going to end up squeezing till 44, 45. We need Grayscale dumping numbers to be lower than past weeks. This is likely, in my opinion. Sol will probably have the bigger mind share of majorities due to the Jupiter airdrop. So we're going to talk about that in just a minute here. But you can see that across all DEX volume, Solana's number 1, surpassed Ethereum. Wow. Also, restaking went live. We briefly talked about this before. On restaking is a huge narrative. It's now in the top 10 in DeFi and Ethereum. And on Picasso Network, you can do your restaking with Solana. So right now, this is AVO. We use this quite a bit for the futures markets to see what the expected price or valuation of Jupiter will be when it launches. And so right now, we see that we expect the valuation, the market is expecting or foretelling the valuation of Jupiter to be somewhere in the tune of $7.2 billion, right? And 10% of that is being airdropped on the 31st. So that's a $727 million airdrop. Plus, we have this other one we're going to talk about, the Wen token that also was airdropped today. And before we get into Wen, just a couple things about my team. Actually, my CTO, Ben, was excited about. So this is called Token 22, I believe, which is actually and it's called token extension. So what an SLP 20 could do before, which is like the Solana tokens that everybody uses, the standard, it was quite limited. Like you could do way more before on Ethereum. You know, you could do like on-chain tax, you can do, but with this, what they're calling token extensions, or which is now live on Solana, this token 22, it actually upgrades the ability of what tokens can do on Solana quite significantly, and it's very important for enterprise. So I just wanted to quickly mention this because there's a lot of enterprise stuff here, like doing payroll and things like that, where you can essentially pay somebody. It can be on chain, but it's encrypted, so it's compliant and regulatory, but it's also private, which is really, really important. And guys, don't forget, Firedancer is set to launch probably toward the end of the year, Q3 or something like that, which should bring the TPS of Solana to about 1 million, which will be insane. Now, this Wen token is what everybody's talking about today. And, you know, Wen Moon, Wen this, Wen Binance, Wen that. So what is Wen? Wen was a test launch from Jupiter's launchpad, essentially. So lfg.jup.ag. And essentially, it's working on like a bonding curve sort of way. So let me see if I can show you this real quick. Yeah. So it's kind of similar to like the bounce idea where you can do the sell on a curve. And I think this is interesting because, so they were testing this out today, and you can see here the different mechanics. We won't go into it. It's quite complicated, but it's a different way to launch a token from a launch pad, and it's like a more fair launch kind of way to do it in a way. And this is important for myself to pay attention to because, you know, at Paid Network, we're looking at some other fair launch options as well. Just as we know that we are gearing up here for Launchpad season. So also, did you guys tune into the the Twitter Spaces of the night when I was on there with Mario, and that was a wild turn of events, right? Speaking of when round two. Okay, so let me know in the comments below if you guys are looking forward to round two. Breaking, Solana meme coin Wen flips Bonk in 24-hour volume. Now, this would be more significant if Wen had been around for, a month or weeks. But people don't take this at face value like, oh my God, wow, Wen's going to be more popular than Bonk. I don't think so, right? But it's just because it was launched today, and because on a day when you have so much being airdropped into it, and there's a lot of interest, because this Wen token was the test run for Jupiter, so they themselves launched this, which is very, very popular in itself, is driving a lot of interest. And so, yes, and people are speculating like crazy on this thing. And this trading volume is absolutely nuts. But of course, this is selling and buying, and people are selling their airdrop. And I was going to post the claim portal, but by the time you guys watch this, the claiming opportunity will be closed already. So I got my claim. It was like $900 or something like that. So 70% of Wen supply airdropped, 46.2% of airdrop unclaimed. That's changed now. Less than 19 hours, blah, blah, blah. It's the first fractionalized NFT meme coin. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. I need to look into it a bit more. Pioneering a new NFT token standard to rival Metaplex's monopoly. Chart looks like it's aware of all the above. Start clicking. This will be an obvious retrospect. So some people are very, very bullish. I'm actually going to go look into this. I didn't know about this part actually here. I'm going to go look into it a bit more. But the important part here to understand is that, let me refresh. Right now, I think the claiming opportunity ends in 20 minutes from now, and about 40% of tokens, almost 40% haven't been claimed yet. And so if they're not claimed, they will be burnt. So that'd be almost 40% of the total supply. And you can see that right now, the FDV is 155 million. So, so that might actually decrease a lot as soon as this is burnt. So the question is this still going to pump like crazy? And you can see a lot of people here, a lot of red selling the airdrops, but a lot of buy pressure as well. So it was really a test run for Jupiter. I'm looking forward to seeing what Jupiter does in their future, and just really awesome to see new, interesting, creative ways that people are thinking about, like launchpad mechanics, right? It's really important that we continue to innovate in this space. So we have 800. So now you have $730 million on the 31st that will be injected into Solana ecosystem from Jupiter, the airdrop, right? And then you have this right now, $150 million from Wen that just magically appeared, right? And so that's a lot of money that's in the Solana ecosystem. So all eyes are back in the Solana ecosystem. So the question is, what happens here? So now if markets continue to stay strong, and this will all depend on what happens today and tomorrow, and we can get a good assessment of kind of how much Grayscale is offloading. But if the market stays strong, I expect Solana to be very strong this week. So with that being said, this narrative, of course, something like Dog with Hat, which I still think is going to be the premier meme coin. Well, Bonk is up there as well, but Dog with Hat just seems to never go away. I see this meme everywhere. And so it's had a nice retracement, guys. And I do think that this thing, remember, it still has to have its Binance listing, which it hasn't yet. And so you can see that, it's still holding up quite strong. And so if you're looking to add to your position of Dog with Hat, but the point is mostly like I'm still holding, right? I took some profits out a while ago, but I'm still holding majority of my bag. And I think this thing is going to keep going. I do think this thing will eventually land on Binance and eventually will hit the $1 billion market cap. But I do think that with this newfound liquidity in the SOL ecosystem, it will try to find a new home. A lot of people will not think that Wen lasts, but who knows? Speculation from here. We shall see. And guys, just real quickly, I want to just kind of bring your attention back to a couple of things that we talked about. So whales markets. Let me know if you guys got in or not. We talked about, and I'm telling you, I already see. Guys, I'm over here at 46 cents. Right now, it is at 80 cents. It went all the way up to 97. Nice pullback right now, a little bit actually. Let's see. Let's refresh. Okay. So this, I personally still think this is a really great buy at this price. It's a $14 million market cap. Remember, this is the exchange where you can, for all of these points systems, where people can sell OTC their points very, very early. So still not a lot of attention, $2 million in trading volume. I think it's still a very, very interesting prospect here. Also, we call it, Altlayer, really over here at 32 cents. Right now, it's at 41 cents, been doing quite well. I continue to expect this thing to continue to go up. And like I said before, Manta, even though a lot of people gave a lot of crap saying that it's, flooded this coin, saying it's going to be done and blah, blah, blah. I told you guys now twice that why? It's a strong token, and that I think Manta's going to pull something similar to a TIA, where it's going to continue just to go up and up and up and up. You can see that it's at 368 right now. And pretty much since its launch, just been continued to go up. I think this thing's going to continue to go up and up and up and up and up and up. And yeah, this is a post from I wanted to look into a little bit more about when and what happened behind it. And so if you guys want to go read this whole thing, this describes more the whole purpose of Wen. It was really a test on the Jupiter Launchpad. So they were a DEX aggregator, and now they're Launchpad. And this is a very, very good read. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you guys, but this is the creator of Jupiter at WEREMEOW. And guys, that's going to wrap it up. Short and sweet today. I'll catch you on the next one tomorrow. Bye-bye.